Hajj is an annual Islamic pilgrimage to Mecca, Saudi Arabia, the holiest city for Muslims. Hajj is a mandatory religious duty for Muslims that must be carried out at least once in their lifetime by all adult Muslims who are physically and financially capable of undertaking the journey. Hajj is a pilgrimage made to the Kaaba, the house of Allah, in the sacred city of Mecca in Saudi Arabia. It is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. It is a long pious journey taken by Muslims to cleanse their souls of all worldly sins, which connotes both the outward act of a journey after death and the inward act of good intentions. The rites of pilgrimage are performed over 5 to 6 days, extending from the 8th to the 12th or 13th of Hajj, the last month of the Islamic calendar. The Islamic Hijri calendar is lunar and the Islamic year is about 11 days shorter than the Gregorian year. The Gregorian date of Hajj changes from year to year. The Hajj is associated with the life of the Islamic prophet Muhammad from the 7th century AD, but the ritual of pilgrimage to Mecca stated in Muslim sources stretches back to the time of Abraham. Allah commanded Prophet Abraham to build Kaaba along with his son Ismail, which he did, and invite people to perform pilgrimage there. Therefore, Hajj or pilgrimage to Kaaba has been commencing since the time of Prophet Abraham. However, during pre-Islamic or pre-prophethood era of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, the Arabia was known to be in darkness or Jahiliyyah period, where people of Arabia had forgotten these past teachings of prophets and got involved in paganism, also filling the Kaaba with multiple idols. After advent of Prophet Muhammad's prophethood and his preaching, he finally succeeded in conquering Mecca peacefully from the pagans and reconsecrated the Kaaba to Allah alone after destroying the idols placed in and around it. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, performed his only and last pilgrimage along with large number of followers, instructing them on the rites to be performed during the pilgrimage. It was after this Hajj became one of the pillars of Islam. Muslims from all over the world gather in Mecca for annual Hajj pilgrimage. An estimated more than 2 million pilgrims perform Hajj everywhere, with maximum number of Hajj pilgrims coming from Indonesia, Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Nigeria, Iran, Algeria and Turkey. Pilgrims start to arrive in Mecca well before actual start of Hajj. They enter Mecca in state of Ihram so they can perform small pilgrimage known as Umrah in the Haram Mosque. Ihram is a sacred state which a Muslim must enter to perform the Hajj or Umrah in Islam. A pilgrim must enter into this state before crossing the pilgrimage boundary known as the Miqat, by performing the cleansing rituals and wearing the prescribed ihram clothing, after which he has to abide by certain set of rules and regulations. In Masjid Haram in Mecca, pilgrims circumambulate Kaaba 7 times known as Tawaf and walk between Safa and Marwa hills 7 times known as Sa'i. After this they cut hair and come out of state of ihram. This completes their minor pilgrimage or Umrah. In Mecca, pilgrims dedicate their maximum time offering prayers and supplications at Haram Mosque. This helps them to spiritually prepare themselves for the upcoming Hajj days. The first day of Hajj on the 8th day of Hajj marks the beginning of Hajj. Pilgrims enter into Ihram and travel to Mina, which is 12 kilometers east of Grand Mosque, spending the night there. Mina is approximately 20 square kilometers in size. During Hajj, more than 100,000 air-conditioned tents in Mina temporarily accommodate pilgrims. Mina is known as the tent city due to its many tents. Pilgrims recite the Talbiyah throughout the journey, which is the proclamation of submission and conviction to Allah. The words of Talbiyah mean, "Here I am at your service, O God, here I am. Here I am at your service. You have no partners, other gods. Here I am. To you alone is all praise and all excellence, and to you is all sovereignty." Prophet Muhammad is believed to set up his camp at the place where Kaif Mosque now stands. This day is known as Yawm al-Tarwiyah, which serves as a time for pilgrims to mentally and spiritually prepare themselves for the next day of Arafat. Historically, pilgrims prepared themselves spiritually and arranged water for travel and stay for the next crucial days of Hajj. Pilgrims spent their time in offering prayers and reading Quran. It is a sunnah to perform Zohar, Asar, Maghrib, and Isha prayers in Mina on this day. Pilgrims stay in Mina tents up till Fajr prayer of 9th day of Hajj before departing to Arafat. The second day of Hajj on the 9th day of Zulhijjah marks the most important day of Arafah. It is known as Yom al-Arafat, the day of Arafat, or Yom al-Wuq, the day of standing. Pilgrims leave Mina after fire prayers and travel to the plain of Arafat, which is 13 kilometers towards east of Mina. The pilgrims spend the day in the plains of Arafat, where they combine prayers of Zohar and Asr together. The Mufti delivers Hajj sermon in the Namira Mosque, highlighting essence and teachings of Islam and guidelines for Muslims. Those near the mosque listen to sermon in the mosque, others listen it in their tents. Prophet Muhammad has also combined his two prayers and delivered his sermon at the place of Namira Mosque. After offering the prayers, pilgrims engage in wuq, or standing at Arafat, which is the most solemn rite of the Hajj. Many pilgrims gather on and around Jabal Rahmat, or Mount of Mercy in Arafat, where Prophet Muhammad is said to have also performed his wuq, or stay. The wuq can be performed anywhere in the plains of Arafat and is the obligatory rite of the Hajj. Pilgrims pray and supplicate for mercy and forgiveness on this day. According to important sayings of Prophet Muhammad, Hajj is Arafat, and no day is better to Allah than the day of Arafat. Allah descends to the lowest heaven, and he boasts to the inhabitants of the heavens about the inhabitants of the earth, saying, "Look at my servants, appearing disheveled and dusty. They came from every mountain pass, hoping for my mercy. They do not see my punishment, yet they do not see that on no day are more saved from hellfire than the day of Arafat." Pilgrims spend most of the time between afternoon and sunset in prayers for strength, guidance, needs and well-being of loved ones. After sunset, the pilgrims start to leave for Muzdalifah, which is open area 9 kilometers west of Arafat, without performing Maghrib prayer. Most pilgrims travel this distance on foot, buses or train. In Muzdalifah area, pilgrims spend night in open sky. Pilgrims offer Maghrib and Isha prayers together at same time. Pilgrims are supposed to take rest in open sky overnight, as Prophet Muhammad did during his time. Muzdalifah is derived from the Arabic verb izdalafa, which means to approach or to come near. Allah has mentioned this place with high esteem in Quran in following words: "But when you depart from Arafat, remember Allah at al-Mashar al-Haram, and remember him, as he has guided you, for indeed, you were before that among those astray." Pilgrims collect a total of 49 pebbles to perform Rema rite over the next 3 days. However, they collect pebbles up to 70 as precautionary measure, as pilgrims may miss the target or some pebbles may fall from their hands during the rite. The third day of Hajj on the 10th day of Zulhijjah marks the most important day of Hajj. It is known as Yom al-Nahr, the day of sacrifice, on account of the large number of animals that are slaughtered as sacrifices. Pilgrims offer fire prayer and perform stay or wuq at Muzdalifah thereafter on the 10th day of Zulhijjah as per sunnah. After fire prayer, just before dawn, pilgrims start leaving for Mina, which is 4 kilometers west of Muzdalifah. After reaching Mina back to their original camps, pilgrims continue to move further 4 kilometers westwards towards Jamarat. Jamarat is the place in Mina Valley where pilgrims perform the rite of Rami, which is ritual stoning and rejection of Satan and his worldly temptations. This rite is performed in remembrance of Prophet Abraham's commitment and complete submission to his Lord when he was asked to sacrifice his son in the way of Allah. He threw pebbles towards Satan at these points when he tried to lay him astray and propel him to disobey Allah's command. At Jamarat, there are 3 stoning points of Satan, namely Jamarat al-Ula, small Jamarat, Jamarat al-Wasta, middle Jamarat, and Jamarat al-Aqaba, big Jamarat. On the 10th day of Zulhijjah, pilgrims only threw 7 pebbles at Jamarat al-Aqaba, big Jamarat. This rite is to perform between sunrise and sunset as per sunnah. However, due to large crowds of people and to avoid any accidents, vulnerable pilgrims such as women, elderly and disabled can perform it from dawn of 10th Zulhijjah till dawn of 11th Zulhijjah. This rite has been subject to large overcrowding accidents in the past. Therefore now pilgrims perform it through multiple levels of bridges, ramps and tunnels to prevent crowding at same location. After performing Rami at Jamarat, pilgrims sacrifice an animal such as sheep or goat. which is known as Haiti. Haiti is the wajib obligatory sacrifice performed on the day of Nahr. It can be carried out after performing Ramai of the Jamarat al-Aqaba, the big pillar, up until sunset on the 12th of Hajj. If it is carried out before or after this time frame, a penalty will be necessary. Usually it has been arranged by tour operators, and pilgrims don't have to do it physically. Pilgrims receive notification about their sacrifice being done. After Haiti or sacrifice is done, pilgrims proceed to have their hair shaved if they are men, halq, or trimmed if they are women, taqsir. All ihram restrictions will be lifted once the hair has been cut, except marital relations between husband and wife. This final restriction is only removed once Tawaf al-Ziyarah has been performed in Mecca. After Ramai at Jamarat, Haiti and halq, pilgrims travel to Haram Mosque in Mecca, which is 12 kilometers west of Mina tent city. Here, they perform Tawaf al-Ziyarah, which is fard mandatory rite of Hajj. It is a sunnah to perform Tawaf al-Ziyarah after halq or taqsir. However, it is acceptable to perform Tawaf al-Ziyarah before halq or taqsir, but then the restrictions of ihram won't be lifted until the hair has been cut. After Tawaf al-Ziyarah, pilgrims walk between Safa and Marwa hills known as Sa'i. Tawaf al-Ziyarah can be performed from 10th of Hajj up till 12th of Hajj, only after which marital relations can be restored. It will be performed in ihram if Haiti and halq has not been performed yet. But if Haiti and halq have been completed and ihram has been removed, pilgrims will perform Tawaf and Sa'i in normal clothes. The 10th day of Hajj is celebrated as Eid al-Adha, day of sacrifice by Muslims all over the world when they join the Hajj pilgrims in sacrificing an animal in way of Allah. However, Hajj pilgrims do not celebrate Eid due to their Hajj rites. After Tawaf al-Ziyarah and Sa'i is performed, pilgrims travel back to Mina, which is 12 kilometers east of Haram Mosque. In Mina, they spent the nights of the following days of 11th and 12th Hajj. The 4th to 6th days of Hajj from 11th to 13th Hajj days are known as Ayam al-Tashriq, days of sun drying, when traditionally pilgrims used to dry their sacrifice meat for preservation. They continued with the Ramai rite at Jamarat on these days. On the 11th and 12th Hajj, pilgrims continue with the rite of Ramai Jamarat. On these 2 days, pilgrims travel to Jamarat from Mina to throw 7 pebbles each at all the 3 Jamarats. This rite is to be performed between midday and sunset as per sunnah. However, due to large crowds of people and to avoid any accidents, vulnerable pilgrims such as women, elderly and disabled can perform it from dawn of 11th Hajj till dawn of 12th Hajj, and similarly from dawn of 12th Hajj till dawn of 13th Hajj. The pilgrims can choose to leave Mina on 12th of Hajj before sunset if they have performed their Ramai for that day. However, if they do not leave Mina till sunset of 12th Hajj, they have to spend one more night in Mina and perform Ramai on 13th Hajj also as per sunnah. However, the Ramai of this day has to perform between midday and sunset as per sunnah. However, due to large crowds of people and to avoid any accidents, vulnerable pilgrims such as women, elderly and disabled can perform it from dawn of 13th Hajj till sunset of 13th Hajj. With this, Hajj officially concludes on the 12th or 13th of Hajj. Pilgrims leave Mina and can travel to and stay in Mecca. Pilgrims usually perform Tawaf al-Wada, farewell Tawaf, before they finally leave Mecca for their homes outside of the Haram or Mecca boundary. This is the last wajib obligatory rite performed before leaving Mecca.